Wysteria, energy, twister. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Christmas Witch. And do excuse me if you can hear a slight noise in the background. I apologise. I do have one of the more quieter fans, but I do need to have the fan on for the dog's sake because it's very hot right now in the UK because I'm recording it in summer. So we have a number of fans set up around the house just for the dog's benefit more than anything because they get really hot. So I do apologise if there's that noise in the background. Please forgive me. So we're on chapter 6 now of the Christmas Witch. I make it back to Rilda's house by 8 the next morning, but all this early rising is killing me. Luckily she has coffee and cake. I pause before taking a slice, though. Are these safe? Yes, she throws a dish towel at me. I'm just checking. I catch the dish towel just as Angelo comes through the door. He's carrying a couple of brown paper bags with handles, the kind you get at takeout places. Is that the stuff? I ask. He laughs, and I smile to see that he seems like his old self. You make it sound like we're drug dealers. Rain speaks up. Well, we sort of are, aren't we? Lacing cookies and sneaking dill to people. I think about this. She's right. Angela lifts the bags onto the countertop. I took the liberty of talking to Raoul, the chief, down at the cook. He told me that cinnamon was not a good idea at all. Oh, yeah. Cinnamon for what? Rhoda asks, retrieving her dish towel and pulling biscuits from the oven. Angela moans when he sees them. I thought we could mask the dill with cinnamon, I explain, then turn back to Angelo. Why is that a bad idea? He said that cinnamon has a tendency to make tempers flare, and we don't need that. I broke up 2 arguments just getting to the cup and back, and I'm pretty sure Mrs. Klein was threatening to burn her house down if Mr. Klein didn't go buy the right kind of flour for her fruit cakes. He's right. It's a bad idea. Rilda cut in. Trinket, you need to ask me before you do these things. I sigh. Oh, it was just an idea. And I'm only trying to save Christmas. A lofty goal, my dear. She pats my hand and offers Angelo a fluffy biscuit, which he takes. Then he dives for the refrigerator, grabs the butter and slashes the bread before shoving it in his mouth. Anyone watching would think the man was starving to death. I wait until he's finished chewing, then ask, did Raoul have any other ideas? Yes. Peppermint. Angelo grabs biscuit number 2. Rilda lets him, then pulls the plate away. Okay, that'll work fine, I guess. I look at Rilda. The herbalist among us. No nasty side effects. Nope, that works fine, she says, picking at a biscuit of her own. Okay then, let's get started. I reach for the bags and start pulling out ingredients. The one at the bottom puzzles me. Angelo, these are those round peppermint candies. I know, he said that. It would be fine. Since we're only using them for the taste, we have to crush them up ourselves, though. I couldn't find any already crushed kind. Really? What about peppermint oil? That would work too. It's Christmas, Trinket. Everything's sold out. Even the candy canes. Of course it is. I dig through Rilda's pantry, finding the rolling pin and hand it, plus the candy to Rain. Take this outside and pound it, and I mean pound it, for a while, I instruct her. She goes without a word. I wonder if she's still feeling bad about her goof, and then I set about making the strangest cookies in history, while Rilda hovers and Angela runs off, probably to break up more fights. It was a good idea, though, wasn't it? Rilda asks when we were into the second batch. I stop stirring dough to give her a quick hug and catch Rain listening in at the back door. It was a good idea, and even Rain had a good idea. She just grabbed the wrong ingredient. I don't want Rain to feel bad anymore. I was telling the truth when I said that anyone could have made the same mistake. I'm a firm believer in letting kids hear you brag about them. They don't believe it when you say it to them. They tend to think that you're just being nice. But if they overhear a compliment, it makes their day. It seems to work. When she comes back in with her 3rd bag of finely crushed candy, she's smiling again. I give her a hug too. I want a hug. Angela is coming in through the back door, carrying a bag from the salty hog. I look at the bag and try to hide my blush. Is that lunch? Yeah, I figured you ladies wouldn't stop to eat, so I get a hug too, right? For lunch? No, for being your knight in shining sandwiches. He puts the bag down and comes for the hug. I hesitate for a second, but can't find a way to refuse. So I wrap my arms around his waist. He's warm and tall and smells like cedar, and my whole body goes into overdrive. Hey, he says. I instinctively look at him. He bends his head and kisses me on the lips before I can say or do anything. No, kissing is one of my rules, and he's breaking it right now here in front of everyone. I should be mad. I should kick him in the chin or something. Instead, I melt into him, and I kiss him back, my whole body doing what it wants without asking my opinion. My hands find his chest, my leg wraps around his, and suddenly it feels like a very good Christmas indeed. Behind us, Rhoda claps her hands and squeals with delight. Rain giggles too, and that's what makes me finally break our kiss. Angelo, we have an audience. He moans and tries for another kiss, but I put my hand over his mouth to stop him. Angelo, we said no kissing. You said that. He's not letting me go. I'm still wrapped against his chest and my body is still responding. I push on him and he lets me go with a small frown. When I turn back to Rhoda and Rain, knowing that I'm blushing like crazy, I feel like I've just starred in an X-rated movie. Sorry about that, I mutter, running for the bathroom. Behind me, I hear laughter. We're supposed to keep our distance. That's the agreement. At least I thought that was the agreement. But Angelo just keeps pushing my buttons, and I respond to him way too easily, and that's my fault. Well, mine and the spell that binds us in the first place. I check the mirror with shaking hands, smooth my suddenly frazzled hair and go back to my cookies, and nothing with gratitude that Angelo is gone, and I take a deep breath. Are you two? Rhoda asks. No. I need to stop this conversation before it gets started, or I'll never do the end of it. We aren't. As soon as I find time to do some research and figure out how to break this bond, it's over. I promise. She looks disappointed, but doesn't answer. Rain does though. Why? You two are pretty good together, aren't you? We're good friends, but that's as far as it goes. She snorts. It doesn't look that way from me. Well, it is that way. I don't tell them that I'm slipping that Angelo and I are good together, regardless of how I try to hide it. At the same time, I also can't tell them that I miss my friend Jones. He's been avoiding me since the ritual that saved Jagged Grove, and I miss hanging out with him. When I was new here in Jagged Grove, Jones was my first and best friend. We even considered letting our relationship go further, but then the whole Angelo thing happened. It's all really confusing, and I don't want to think about it. Don't you have candy to crush? I asked Rin. Nope, all done. She crosses her arms, and there's an amusing dance in her eyes. It feels like she can read my thoughts, and that makes me more nervous than fighting in the streets. The end. And that's the end of the next chapter of our wonderful Christmas Witch. So if you don't remember, what happened in Jagged Grove is, and this comes from a very big tale, but I will explain to you. In Jagged Grove there was doom, and in order to save the land, Angelo and our character had to come together and get married, and it had to be a binding spell to keep them together. So this is why she's reluctant with her husband, sleeps in a different bedroom, because it was a marriage of, I guess, it wasn't forced, she wanted to do it, but it was a needed marriage at that time, and she wants to get out of it, but doesn't at the same time. She's very confused right now. So that's the whole Angelo thing, just in case you weren't quite sure on why she was being like that with her own husband. It was a marriage of convenience, and she wanted to keep a distance from him, but it seems like she may be falling, so I don't know. Thank you for listening, and many blessings. Wysteria. Energy. Twister.